So this was the case of Zara Owen, who was, like many of your viewers and our readers, was a young woman student who had gone to a nightclub. And like young women across the board in these situations, unfortunately, took great care that her drink wasn't spiked. Not accepting drinks from strangers, covering drinks, all the sort of things, unfortunately, that we're all too used to doing. But then was injected with the drug instead, and suddenly came over all woozy, and fortunately was in a position where her friends were able to scoop her up outside and take her home. But then when she woke up the next day, noticed that there was the sort of a sore mark on her leg, and she'd actually been injected with some drug, but then struggled to be able to sort of report that to police and the authorities. Obviously, with the added concerns beyond the sort of the initial spiking were then whether the needle was clean and whether she could be in a vulnerable position as a result of that. So clearly was concerned about needing some medical attention. A really horrific story. And on the back of, obviously we've all been talking about this over the last 24 hours, and on the back of this, I opened up my Twitter DMs and to readers and suggested that if people wanted to share their stories, they could get in touch. And I'm afraid to say there's been huge numbers of people coming forward, lots, as you might expect, with stories of themselves or their friends having their drinks spiked. It's a long time since I was at university or, going out clubs regularly, but this is something that's been going on for a very, very long time. And it's just really, frankly, depressing that the situation there hasn't got any better. But more worryingly, there was also examples of this new phenomenon where people had been injected with some drug or other. And it's this sort of new phenomenon, which is, I think, really making young women much more fearful. You kind of are used to all the old threats. That's not to say that they should exist or that we shouldn't challenge them, but this seems so difficult for somebody to protect themselves against. It's obviously shouldn't be on women to protect themselves. It should be on the perpetrators not to do it. But obviously it's extremely alarming for lots of these people. And I have to say I'm quite shocked by the number of people that got in touch with their own stories about this.